It's time for the sensory system. Again, I've put in red what I really want you to pay attention to. We know a lot about the sensory system because we use our senses all the time to navigate our life. The sensory system consists of receptors and special cells and organs that perceive changes to the internal, external environment. Again, always trying to maintain our homeostasis. Stimuli are what generate nerve impulses that are sent to the brain for interpretation. Some structure and function information. So those stimuli are perceived by vision, hearing, touch, taste, position, and balance. And you guys, this is not new. I'll talk about the eye. It's the most important sensory organ. I believe that completely. 90% of the information from our environment is reaches our brain from our eyes. I think I told you in the last, in the nervous system information, that the cranial nerve that moves the eye, one of them anyway, is the ocular motor nerve. It's called the eye mover. The eye actually has an exterior area and a very large interior area. Only 1/5 of your whole eye is what's exposed to the environment. And if you guys have dissected cow's eyes in anatomy or something, you've seen, how big an eye is when you take the whole eye itself. And here's just a little picture of some of the structures of it. I'm not going to test you on it because we just don't have a chance to really get into all of this too much. But I want you to remember that the cornea is this clear outer covering. The optic nerve is in the back of the eye, and you can actually, when we get an ophthalmoscope, which is a scope that looks at the eye, we can actually see a little cone of light refracting and into the optic nerve in the back of the eye too. So we'll practice with that. We have our ears so we can hear. The main function is hearing, and it's also helps you maintain balance. So equilibrium and hearing are the main functions of the ear. There's 3 parts to the ear: the external ear, which is the outer part of your ear, the middle ear, and then the inner ear. And here's another example, another picture of the outer ear with the pinna, the auditory canal, and then in the middle of the ear is the tympanic membrane. And it works like a membrane on the top of a drum for sound vibrations. And then you've got this bony labyrinth here, which is made up of the semicircular canal, the vestibule, and the cochlea. And that's the bony labyrinth that helps for your brain to sort of process the sound. And then your eustachian tube. And your eustachian tube drains into your nose and your throat. That's why if you get an upper respiratory or a head cold, you've got ear issues and you've got throat issues as well as sinus and nose issues because they're all connected by that eustachian tube. Your tongue, of course, we use this for taste and also to propel food. It is what gives you your gustatory sense. The cells in your tongue perceive different tastes: sweet, sour, bitter, salty, and meatiness. And also we identify flavor by smell as well as taste. So if you ever don't want to eat something, you don't like it, or you have to choke down medicine, if you plug your nose, it'll block some of your taste receptors too. We'll have to practice that in class. I want you to know about your olfactory sense, your sense of smell. It originates in the olfactory receptors in the nose, and it transmits signals to your brain through that olfactory cranial nerve and gives you that sense of smell. And so the nasal cavities are divided into 2 sections by the septum in your nose. I don't know if I put a picture on here or not, but I'll show you that in class. And then you've got olfactory receptor neurons that are stimulated also by chemicals in the air too. All kinds of things stimulate our nose, and those smells can help reduce stress, like with aromatherapy. It can affect our blood pressure. It can help us recall memories. I'm sure you've had that experience where you've smelled something that reminded you strongly of something in your past. It can help again with the sense of taste. If you plug your nose, you can't taste as well. The medical term for a bloody nose is epistaxis. So that's in red, not just because it's about a bloody nose, but because I want you to remember that. That's all there is.